The Duke and Duchess just made a rare appearance together, but how much longer are they going to be able to use those titles? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. I do want to make it clear we are phasing a lot of our Popcorn Planet royal coverage over to our other channel, Popcorn Palace. I'll put a little iCard up here. If you haven't already subscribed there and you're a Royals fan, please check it out. We did a really good video today breaking down this new video, Steph. I really had some fun watching this new appearance of theirs. If you want to see this breaking their silence appearance that shows that they're not split and all that jazz, head on over there and watch it. I'll put the iCard and we'll put it at the end of this video so you can watch it next. But Steph, I wanted to talk about something that I've seen you've been having some success with on your channel. And I thought this was just conjecture, but this idea that yes, the Duke and Duchess are going to be losing their titles. I see a lot of people talking about this and guessing and speculating. And you know me, I don't like to get too deep into the British politics of it all anyway. But I found it fascinating that you were breaking this down. The fact of the matter is, and you're going to break down why, there is pretty much a ticking clock on when this is going to be forcefully removed. They will officially lose their titles. Is that correct?
Certainly looks that way in terms of what's going on at the moment with the removal of titles bill that's currently going through our political process at the moment.
Right, and on top of that, this is all stems, again, the book, Spare, keeps coming back to haunt Harry. But again, things he said and opinions he's had, all this stuff is sort of triggering this political move here. And so just even we're rewinding back in time. This is a little bit old news, but I know a lot of us here in the States don't really understand it. So I wanted to bring Steph in to help dumb it down for me. So thank you, Steph, for trying to do this. So you got the Tories, right? And what's the other group?
So you've got the Tories and you've got the Labour Party, the two main political parties in the UK. You might as well consider the Labours as Democrats and the Tories as Republican.
And just to I know we're dumbing that down. It's probably, there's more nuance to it all, but thank you. Oh, yes, continue.
Yeah. Now, both sides of the political spectrum, so our version of the Democrats and the Republicans, are saying exactly the same thing, that their titles need to be removed. Now, our version of the Republicans, what are they trying to do? They're trying to amend an existing law in order to get the titles removed from Megxi and Hazza. On the other end of the spectrum, and what's more interesting, what we're going to focus on a little bit more, is our version of the Democrat side. They're actually at the moment going through Parliament with a bill called the Removal of Titles Bill that once put into law is going to do one or two things. It's either going to give King Charles the power to remove titles whenever he wants, or more importantly and more telling, with a majority vote, politicians, Parliament, to remove titles from Megxi and Hazza.
Yeah, it's interesting because just also for people who are trying to understand what the title is, Prince Harry will always remain a prince, correct? That this, when we talk the titles, we're talking about the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex, correct?
That's correct. The only way that, to my knowledge, Prince Harry could lose his prince title, which I discussed on my channel recently, is if King Charles issues what's called a letters patent, which is like a royal decree, something like that.
Well, and even as someone who doesn't like this duo as much, I mean, it feels fair. He is the prince. He was born into being a prince, even if he doesn't do those duties. Is anyone trying to strip that title from him? Or is it really just about the Duke and particularly the Duchess trying to use these titles that they're no longer really a part of?
The focus is on the Duke and Duchess titles. I've always said, as far as I'm concerned, Prince Harry is a prince. He was born a prince. That is his birthright. Technically, it could be taken away from him, but even I would disagree with that.
Right, and if he wanted to do that, like, look, I don't want this life, and that's his choice, then so be it. That would make sense. But I agree. It seems like that's something that's his choice. Now, the Duke and the Duchess, which is what they use these terms a lot. They admit it also. They don't want to lose these terms. They expect to keep them because they know it comes with some value. But it's odd to me that it's still such a thing, but it is. But so the idea here, just again, dumbing it down for myself, this bill is at hand to basically give them the power to remove these titles, which ultimately, I guess now only the king can do. Why would the king allow such a bill to go through? You're painting a picture that makes it sound like, okay, both sides of the political spectrum are suddenly now coming to terms and agreeing, fine. But why would the king want to give away that power? That seems like something that you wouldn't want to just hand over. It's like Netflix saying, fine, here's all our ratings. When you have sort of that control, why give it up?
So just to briefly explain, the bill has to go through a political process through two levels, the Houses of Commons and the Houses of Lords. Best way I can explain it to you guys over in America, you've got the House of Representatives and then the Senate, right? Okay, so once it goes through both houses, it gets to King Charles, and it's a level called Royal Ascent. Once it gets to King Charles, that's what that stage is called. It's a formality. No matter what, when a bill is presented in front of him that's agreed by both houses in the UK, he's signing it. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, he's signing it, whether he agrees with it or not. And there's a reason for that. If he doesn't sign it, then it puts the whole political system and the royal family into a constitutional crisis. He is not willing to afford that. I'm telling you right now, because there's like a rule whereby the royal family is not supposed to, in any way, shape or form, directly or indirectly, try and affect or change or influence politics. If he doesn't sign that royal assent, that bill, then that's exactly what he's doing, and he's going against it. He won't do it. He will sign it, regardless if he agrees with it or not.
Interesting. So the pressure is on. It does seem like this is something that could happen. But again, there's a lot of still some political hoops to go through. But you're telling me, and commenters, please, I want to get informed. Tell us if there's something we're missing here down below. But it does sound like yes. And I guess this is a bill that's coming out in like November. The next step is happening in November of this year, where they will be facing sort of where this goes. Is that the next sort of milestone to look for? November 24th, the second reading?
Yeah, so the second reading, in a nutshell, is when the House of Commons, our politicians, start debating the bill, what they think they agree to, what they disagree to, before it gets to committee stage, which is when they look at making amendments, making changes to the bill based on the debates. At the second reading, there's going to be then afterwards a vote as to whether the bill is going to proceed further or not through our political process. It is very rare that it's shut down at the second reading. And when you've got both sides of the political spectrum, so our Republicans and our Democrats, trying to do exactly the same thing, yeah, this has probably got overwhelming support with our politicians, so it's going to go through to the next stage.
Yeah, it's interesting because he again, why do they care? Well, again, here's the conservative side, the Tories. Sorry, I'll try and like. Seeley's plan to put forward an amendment to the act which stripped royal titles from those who supported Germany in the First World War. The Tory asked why Harry continued to use the titles while at the same time trashing the institution of the monarchy and his family. This idea of him trashing it obviously has not rubbed people the right way. And so that's sort of the thinking here, is because he's spoken so ill of it, well, then you don't get to have it. And on the other side of the coin, Labour MP Rachel Maddow already has a bill going through Parliament that would give the monarch the new powers to remove titles, or a committee of Parliament to determine that a title should be taken away. She previously said that her constituents made it clear to her that they wanted the Duke of York's title to be removed. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like there should be some other ability for more people to chime in on this, if so be it. But will Harry and Meghan lose their Duke and Duchess? Yet to be seen, but you're painting the picture that I believe here and trust. It is much more realistic than I think people understand. It's not just now up to the king. There are now politicians and movements afoot to really put the pressure up to make this happen. So again, final thoughts on this. You think this is going to heat up and really officially, do you think King Charles will just do it, or Harry and Meghan will finally just give in? What do you think the reality is of this next step?
The reality is King Charles won't do it. I think he wants to do it, but he can't, because it's a bad look on him. So he's essentially, I think, using Parliament as a proxy to be able to get Hazard and Megsy's titles removed. And in terms of Hazard and Megsy, they'll never give them up. I think they will hang on to those titles until the extreme, very, very bitter end. But as a little bit of a side note, I don't just think it's a ticking time bomb for Hazard and Megsy for their titles to be removed, but Prince Andrew as well. needs to be looking over his shoulder because there have been calls for his Duke of York title to be removed because of, you know, everything that's associated with him. So I think he's also in the firing line as well when it comes to this particular bill.
Fascinating insight. If you want more insight like this, why haven't you already subscribed? Head on over to Steph the Alternator. We're trying to push her over 100K subscribers, and it's going to happen this year. I'm sense it soon. So please head on over there, support her, get her over that hump. And thank you always for being here behind the scenes as well. Make sure you join us over on Popcorn Palace today. The Look at Me No is a lot of fun. It's embarrassing, really. And guess what? Tomorrow is happening, guys. We'll be live today, but we'll also be live tomorrow over on Popcorn Palace to celebrate Miss Markle's birthday bash. Look, we're always live Fridays over there, and it just happens to be her birthday, so why not celebrate, Steph? I'm going to make you say some nice things about Meghan. Are you prepared?
I was officially frozen over. She's the best.
You're not going to miss our birthday bash. I'll put it at the end of this video as well. Check out the stuff over there on Popcorn Palace. Check out Steph the Alternerd as well, and stay tuned for more. Yes, we are starting to now cover other things, but you guys got to click them too. Quit complaining and go click. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for all alerts. Smash that like button as well. And join us today. We'll be talking about the Lizzo lawsuit and more live around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you guys there.